Oh, what's up everyone? DSP here. I'm just dicking around. I went to get my drink and the camera started already. But anyway, really important this video, okay? Whether you're a fan or not of me, why am I holding this? If you are at all a fan of seeing footage of video games on the internet, of any sort, whether we're talking video clips of playthroughs, whether we're talking live streaming playthroughs, streaming of tournaments like Street Fighter tournaments, StarCraft tournaments, Call of Duty tournaments, we're even talking, and I'm not joking, we're even talking coverage of E3, video of games at E3 that's just going over the internet. There is a bill that was created that is currently being debated on by Congress. I guess it's up for approval or whatever, and possibly will be signed into law. And this bill, the bill is S.978, okay? Here's what the intent of the bill is. The bill is intending that they don't want people streaming TV, movies, that kind of copyrighted content over the internet, because Hollywood and these studios are worried about it. They're worried that they're losing profits because people are doing this kind of stuff over the internet. Now, what the goal of the bill is to not only make it illegal, but to have very serious legal consequences for this. Number one, you could possibly have massive civil fines, which we're talking thousands upon thousands of dollars. And number two, you could actually go to jail for this. I believe it's like up to 5 years you can go to jail for doing it, okay? I can understand where they're coming from there with movies and TV and that kind of media that is not changing. It's not a changing interactive media, okay? What I don't understand is that this bill, if it goes through the way it's worded right now, will actually also apply to video games, because video games are considered copyrighted works. Now, as of right now, it's perfectly legal to stream tournament footage of a video game, to stream a playthrough of a video game, or to upload videos of a video game, and especially with live commentary. If you're doing commentary on it, you're basically making it a transformative work, which makes it completely legal, okay? You're giving your own commentary, criticism, you're turning it into a transformed work. Other people have also made the argument that just gameplay of video games is completely legal to put on the internet, because just the act of you picking up the controller and actually interacting with the game creates something that's far different than just watching a stagnant movie or TV show that ever changes. Your interaction with the game creates a transformative work. Now, the problem is the way the bill is worded. It says that copyrighted works cannot be publicly displayed or performed without the permission of the copyright holder. So essentially what this means is, if I'm going to do a playthrough of Modern Warfare 3, and I'm going to do the campaign, I need to get exclusive permission from Activision, Infinity Ward, whoever you want to say is the copyright holder of the game, to do that. And not only just the campaign, but the multiplayer. If I want to record a match of me playing the game multiplayer and put it on the internet, I'd have to go out of my way to get exclusive permission from this company. Take a wild guess if I were to email Activision, if they're ever going to email me back and tell me if I can have permission to do a playthrough of their game. I'm just never going to get a response, because they're a big company. They don't care about that kind of stuff, okay? They're worried about developing games. Now, here's the thing, okay? Because it's worded incorrectly, this bill, if it does go into law, you're talking literally entire businesses will go out of business. Machinima, for one. Any other, company that puts this kind of footage on the internet. Half of YouTube's going to have to be taken down. It's going to be an insane amount of work to take down all these video game footage videos, you know what I mean? Anyone who has partnership with these things is going to be taken down. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I believe that the law, also the way that it works, is that it says you have to make more than $2,500 in a year in order to be legally liable, and also you need to have 10 strikes, meaning I could upload 9 videos of video game footage and I'm fine, as long as if someone asks me to take it down, I take it down. But if I upload a 10th, that's it. I've broken the law, and I could either get massive fines, or I could go to jail, okay? Now, first of all, I'm not being an alarmist here, all right? I'm not saying, oh my God, the house is burning down, it's the end of the internet as we know it, okay? But there's a couple things. First of all, this bill is very early. It just got introduced, I believe, in May, and they just talked about it for the first time on June 20th. So it's not close to being passed yet, okay? But the thing is, a lot of major media outlets like Hollywood are really pushing hard to get this bill passed. I have no problem with the bill if they were to amend it to make fucking sense. The problem is, a lot of our lawmakers are out of touch with reality, out of touch with how the internet really works, what's actually on places like YouTube, and they're just listening to the lobbyists who are talking into their ears saying, you have to pass this bill because people are downloading movies and TV and it's not fair. And they're just saying, yeah, that makes sense. No one should be able to steal or broadcast movies or TV over the internet. Let's just pass the bill. And they're not understanding the repercussions of the bill on other forms of media, primarily video games in particular, okay? So I'm not even talking just about me. I'm saying Team Spooky, the guys on the West Coast who I apologize because I forgot their name, that they stream Street Fighter tournaments. Anyone who streams any gaming whatsoever will be shut down. I'll be shut down. Anyone who puts gaming footage on the internet will be shut down. And so now, guess what's going to happen? We're going to go back to the dark ages before the internet, where you don't know if a game's good or not because you can't actually see footage of it. You can't actually get an honest review of it. You know what I mean? It's going to be completely flipped on its head. It's like all this freedom of information that we've had, all this technological advances that we've had is going to go away. Okay? But it doesn't only apply to video games. Think about this. There's a lot of people who on YouTube have actually made it big singing karaoke. I mean, Justin Bieber was one of them. Justin Bieber, a couple other people have actually gotten signed because they were playing some other artist's song and they sang it and they made it big, and now they're getting, they're made it big. Guess what? This makes that illegal too. You can't do that because that's copyrighted music, and you can't put that on the internet. How dare you sing a karaoke song on the internet? That's going to make it illegal too. That's how absurd this bill is in its current form. And it's ludicrous. A lot of people are buzzing about this. Ultra David from the SRK community over on SureYouCan.com wrote a large article about it, and he's a lawyer, so he knows his stuff, and he's very, very concerned. And he's like, how can lawmakers try to pass a bill without understanding the entire situation of what it will actually affect in its current form? They're being very lazy, basically, and they're being very unprofessional in their jobs, and they're basically risking business. They're risking big business. I mean, there's a lot of people who are making money off of this kind of thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. It actually promotes, for example, the video games, the music, or whatever it is that's being used. Now, again, if it's being used properly, I do not in any way condone just uploading a TV show or uploading or streaming a movie over the internet for free and people are basically stealing it. That's not right. That I completely agree with is incorrect. You should not be able to do that. But a video game playthrough that promotes your game, shows people enjoying the game, shows people what the game's like, makes them want to go out and buy it, it's a no-brainer that this stuff is not some kind of a thing that's hurting business. It's actually helping business. And the government is not understanding this because, again, they just have these one group of lobbyists whispering in their ear, and they're not thinking it through, okay? Now, the other thing is, this might never even get passed because traditionally what happens in our U.S. government, I know I have a lot of international fans. I just saw in my latest Ask the King episode that 45% of my viewers are actually international, which is huge. I didn't even know that. But in the U.S. government, what typically happens is when they try to get a bill passed, all of a sudden, someone will try to tack something else onto the bill. So you'll have a bill for this, like this, and then they'll say, yeah, but we have to make sure that in Indiana it's illegal to fuck goats because there was a guy last week that fucked a goat and we got to stop those dirty goat fuckers. So we're going to put an amendment on the bill that says in Indiana it's illegal to fuck a goat. And sometimes you're just like, what the fuck does that have to do with the bill at hand? And they do this a lot of the times, these bills, because they try to get so much done at once, they'll put 40 things on the bill, and only 2 of them are related, and the rest is just a bunch of shit. Okay? This is what happens in our legal system, not our legal system, our government. Isn't it a great government? So anyway, that might hold up any kind of decision that would be made about this bill. And I really don't foresee that the bill gets passed anytime soon. Traditionally, these kind of things take a while. They're going to argue on each side. They're going to hash out the bill. They're going to try to change it a little bit. What I really am hoping is that people like me explaining to the government, listen, this is not right. What you're doing is a blanket law that's actually going to hinder business and basically shut down freedom of information on the internet. You're basically going to go back to the dark ages before the internet existed, because you're making a law that's going to benefit a very few little small businesses that are trying to make movies and films, and you're fucking over a completely new industry that was created by the internet, okay? So you have to think before you act. You have to think before you pass this bill. It needs to be amended or changed before it's passed in its current form, okay? Now, what can you do as an individual? If you're a U.S. citizen, you have the right to help out. You can write your congressperson and explain, say, I don't believe that this bill is correct in its current form. Not that I'm supporting piracy or anything like that in any way, but this is going to negatively affect lots of different things that have happened. People won't be able to sing karaoke songs on the internet anymore. People won't be ever be able to do a review of a video game. People won't be able to do so many things that have helped business, okay? And you can write your congressman, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link in this video where you can go and you can actually straight from there just put in your personal information and send it all. It's going to send it automatically to certain places in the government, certain congresspeople and people who are trying to push for this bill. And you can write your own message. There's already like a default message there saying, I don't support the bill. Or you could write your own there and say, listen, you know, this is not right. It makes no sense in its current form. You're actually going to hurt things that you don't understand you're hurting because you don't know enough about this. You're not educated enough about the subject to pass this bill as it is. So yeah, again, not just for me. If you're a fan of mine, great, and that's why you're doing it. But this is an important issue. If you have friends who maybe aren't even fans of mine, but they need to know, please show them this video. We need to get this topic out there now, while it's fresh, while it's new, while it's literally just happening now. Don't let it wait 6 months, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year, guess what, guys, we're passing the bill, and then for 6 months no one can put stuff on the internet because the government completely fucked up. And then, of course, it'll probably get overturned, but it'll take forever to get it overturned. It's just going to be another year of legal battles. It's just, I cannot imagine them actually censoring the internet like this. But this is what they're looking to do. They're actually looking to completely censor things on the internet, which is so ridiculous. It doesn't belong. I mean, I'm not saying, again, people should be stealing and uploading movies and videos, but when you buy a video game, you are purchasing a license to play a piece of software. You are not purchasing the software, okay? So if you're uploading the actual game files to the internet, you deserve to go to jail. But if you're just playing the game and you record your interactive experience with that game, your input created that experience. That is a transformative work. And that is protected under U.S. copyright law. The problem is, no one's talking about this right now. No one is really in Congress understanding that, and the way the law is worded right now, it will not protect that anymore, and people are going to get screwed, okay? Companies are going to get screwed. The internet's going to get screwed. So we need to really, as a community, talk about this, get this discussion going. Shit, tell your parents about it, tell your friends about it, tell your family about it, get everyone involved in this. And we have to all collectively speak up. Because if we don't, if we just sit here and we're lazy and, you know, we're very complacent and we say, we'll just let it blow over, we'll just sit here. This is how stuff doesn't get done. This is how stuff goes wrong in our government. People just being sitting here complacent and not speaking up and not trying to take a stand, okay? So that's what everyone needs to do. If you're a fan of this kind of stuff, you need to speak up. If you don't want the internet to be completely freaking censored like this, you need to speak up and do something. Again, you can, in the link in this video, you can do something. You can personally contact your own congressman and talk about it. But it needs to be brought up and it needs to be understood. I don't feel negatively about the Senate or the Congress or, you know, whoever's voting on the bill. I don't feel negatively about them. I just think they're misinformed. I think that their intentions are in the right place. They don't want people stealing TV and movies and uploading it to the internet or streaming it for free over the internet. That's not right. But at the flip side of it, they need to understand that the repercussions of their actions for passing the bill in its current form are going to negatively hurt information, business. It's going to be a disaster. So please, please speak up, say something, tell a friend, tell a relative, spread the word, get everyone talking about this, and get them to go and talk to their congressman and say, fuck this. This is not right. And don't say fuck this to the congressman, by the way, but say this is not right. We need to take a stand right now and say this bill needs to be amended so it makes sense for what you're really trying to do, because not all copyrighted works are what you're thinking. There's a lot of variation in what a copyrighted work is. It's not all just an unchanging TV show. There's things that are completely different. You want to know what's really copyrighted in a video game? The software itself, not the experience. So when you say, okay, a public display of a copyrighted work, the public display would be if I turned on a computer monitor and it had the coding for the game, okay? The actual coding lines of the game, if I publicly displayed that, that would be a violation of this law. But what they're not understanding is that the situation where if you're playing the game, that actual broadcast of that is a transformative work. This needs to be fleshed out before the law gets passed, or else a lot of people are going to get screwed over, okay? So that's it. I'm DSP. I'm sorry to be like an alarmist, but I'm not a watchdog or anything like that, but I got a couple messages about this already, and the more I look into it, and then I read Ultra David's article on it, and I'm like, this is bullshit, This is our time as Americans to exercise our right to speak to our government and say, absolutely not, this is not what we want, and by the way, it's not fair, it's going to be harmful to business, it's going to be harmful to a lot of different things, and you're not doing what you're intending with this law in its current form. So, alright, that's it. Again, please, I'm very serious about this. You have to tell people, get people to watch this video, get people talking about the subject, get people to write, use the link, or talk to whoever you need to in your own government, and let's get this awareness out there and let's make this happen, alright? Thanks a lot.